Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, or small business owner, and you're feeling like you're doing everything yourself, emails, social media, admin, customer support, and content, you're not alone. I was there too, burned out, overwhelmed, and watching my business growth stall because I couldn't scale myself. Then I hired my first virtual assistant, and honestly, this was the biggest unlock for my freedom and sanity. Today, we're talking about building a team that shares your values without micromanaging. I'll share exactly how I hired that first VA, the mistakes that I almost made, and a step-by-step process to bring people who align with your vision so you can lead without hovering. If you're ready to stop being the bottleneck in your own business, would you stick around? Let's dive in. All right, if you're new here, I'm Roxy Saran, and this channel is all about building sustainable, values-driven business without burning out. We drop new pillars every week, so hit that subscribe and make sure to turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next one. All right, so back to my story. Several years ago, my business was growing, but I got stuck in the weeds. I'd wake up 5 a.m. and then work until late into the night. I tried to take off most Sundays, but weekends included. And I thought, if I just work a little bit harder, but then that was the problem. I became the ceiling. I finally admitted I needed help, but I didn't want just anyone. I wanted someone that got my why and really understood my integrity, the mindset growth, proactive energy, and treating clients like family. I didn't want to micromanage. I wanted a true partner. And here's how I got it right and what I learned from a near miss. The first mistake people make, jumping straight into hiring without clarity. Before I looked at a single applicant, I did two things. I wrote down my non-negotiable core values. For me, proactive ownership. Don't wait to be told. Radical honesty and clear communication. Growth mindset. Always learning, not ego. Client first heart. These aren't fluffy buzzwords. They're the filter for every decision. Made a brutal, honest task list. What was sucking out my soul? Scheduling calls and managing my calendar, basic email triage and responses, social media posting and engagement, research for content ideas, and I grouped all of them into a phase one for the first hire, low risk but high impact tasks. Budget. I started small, about 10, 12 hours a week, and hire at a fair rate. Here's a pro tip. Document everything in simple standard operating procedures or SOPs early on. This seems like such a time-consuming task, but it helps so much to be able to onboard properly when you have all of those written down. So even a short bullet point checklist is so helpful to onboard. Tools like Google Docs work great because you can share those seamlessly. This will set them up to succeed without you breathing down their neck. Where do you find them? I used Upwork or onlinejobs.ph. Facebook groups for VAs are also great, or word of mouth. The key is to screen hard for those values. Job post headlines something like seeking proactive VA who lives in integrity and growth, help scale a value-driven business. In the description, I explicitly listed my core values and I asked, in your cover letter, tell me about a time you took full ownership of a project without being asked. I interviewed 8 candidates via Zoom, and here are some of the questions that I asked. Walk me through how you'd handle a client email that's upset. What's your first step? This will test empathy. Tell me about a time you disagreed with your boss. How did you handle it? This tests honesty and communication. What's the one thing you're learning right now how to level up? This shows their growth mindset. I picked someone who nailed the values fit, even though her skills were solid but not perfect. Skills can be taught, mindset can't. Red flags that I dodged. Anyone who seemed passive, overly scripted, or just didn't ask great questions back. Here's where most fail. They hire and then they hover. My onboarding system. So week 1, you'll want to shadow them and questions only. I recorded Loom videos explaining my why behind tasks, not just the how. I shared a simple dashboard on Trello with priorities, deadlines, and success matrices. A daily 10-minute check-ins the first week, and then synchronize the updates only. Rule: bring me solutions, not just problems. If something is unclear, propose 2 to 3 options on how we can best go about fixing it. I gave trust up front, and the result was she started suggesting improvements within those first 2 weeks, like better email templates that saved me hours. No micromanaging needed because expectations were clear and she felt she had ownership over the situation. Hiring one VA is step 1. Building a values aligned team is the long game. The key principles that I live by now: focus on those outcomes, not on activity. Did we hit the goal? Beats, did you work 8 hours? Regular one-on-ones for feedback and celebrate. Catch those wins early. Hire slow and fire fast if our values are misaligned. Of course, we give grace if it's just part of the learning curve and mistakes are made, but when our values are in misalignment, we can't build upon that. Lead by example. Share my own mistakes openly. This builds trust. And the bottom line: when people share your values, they will self-manage themselves. You guide, but not control. Hiring that first VA wasn't just offloading tasks. It was about reclaiming my life and scaling with people who believe what I believe. If you're ready to stop doing everything yourself and start with clarity on your values, screen ruthlessly for a good fit, and onboard with trust, your future self and your business will thank you. What's holding you back from hiring help right now? Would you drop it in the comments? I read everyone. If this resonated with you, would you smash that like button and subscribe for more business content, marketing that feels authentic, and share this with a fellow entrepreneur who's also overwhelmed. All right, thank you for watching. Go and build that team, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. I'll see you in the next video.